Hello, my name is Tawana Seals, and I'd like to welcome you to my tutorial on Google Forms with a Flubaroo add-on. The first thing I would like to do is to open up my email account so that you can see where to go to actually use this particular add-on. So I'm in my Gmail account. I'm going to go here to the tic-tac-toe bar, and the tic-tac-toe grid, under you see several items, but we're going to go to drive. And in drive, I have already taken the liberty of creating a sample assessment. So it's a sample test. I'm going to open. This is what the test looks like in working form. So this is what I would look at if I wanted to add something to it. So just for your benefit, I'm going to add an item to this assessment. You see, it's a simple math test. So I'm going to add another question as to what is something simple, -5 times -4. I'm going to make this multiple choice. So my option 1 will be +20. Option 2 will be -20. Option 3 will be 1. Option 4, I'll make it -9. All that could be possibly plausible for students. So I'm going to hit done, and as you can see, my title is sample test. The first question is what is 2 minus -1. My second question is what is 5 plus -3 plus 1. And my third question is what is -5 times -4. If you notice, my first and second questions have an asterisk by it, and my third question does not. So what I like to do is I like to edit this using a little pencil over here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to make this a required question. So now that I made it a required question, I'm going to hit done. And now I see that the asterisk is there. And what that does is that makes the students not skip the question. They have to answer it before the test is completed. Okay. So now what I would like to do is view the live form of the assessment, my sample test, and there's my third question there. So I'm going to close this one out because that one only had the 2 one there. So now what I would like to do is to copy this URL. I'm going to open up another tab, and I'm going to go to tinyurl, which is already there. And what this does is it enables the students to enter the website into their browser, and it can shorten it so that it won't be so long, and they're less likely to make mistakes in putting it in. So I want to customize it, and I'm going to see if my name is available. I'm going to say Seals 2015. I'm going to make the tiny URL and see if that is available. And it says the custom alias you've chosen is not available. We've created a random one for you instead. So the one that they created is this one. So it's NGZAZDC. I think that's still pretty long. So I'm going to paste the one that I originally put in and see if I can come up with something else. Put in my first name and see if I can make a tiny URL using my first name. Now that's available. That name is very unique. So now I know that the URL that is associated with my sample test is Tawana S. So it's tinyurl.com Tawana S. So I'll copy that to my clipboard. Alright, so now that that is done, I can exit out of this window. This is my sample test. That's the live form. This is what it looks like inside of the drive. So I have two windows with my drive open, so I can just close one down. So I'm going to go ahead and close this sample test. And I'm going to open up a window. And I'm going to right click and see if that tiny URL is there, and it is. And I'll just go to it because it was already saved on my clipboard, and there we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my name. I'm going to answer the questions. So 2 minus negative 1, I'm going to make these all correct. So 2 minus negative 1 is going to give me 3. And what is negative 5 plus negative 3 plus 1? Negative 8 plus 1 is going to give me a negative 7. And then what is negative 5 times negative 4? That's going to give me a positive 20. So now I'm going to submit my responses. And I want to submit another response. And this time I'm going to put in my dog's name. My dog's name is Savvy. So Savvy is going to take the assessment. And Savvy, he doesn't really know math that well. So he's going to say that 2 minus negative 1 is 1. And he's going to say that negative 5 plus negative 3 plus 1, it looks like 9 to him. And he's going to say that negative 5 times negative 4 is a negative 20, because obviously two negatives make a negative, right? So I'm going to submit Savvy's answers as well. Okay. So now I have the minimum of 2 responses. I have the one that I had taken that have all the correct answers, and I also have the one that Savvy has taken that has basically all incorrect answers. So I want to go back to my drive. And I'm going to open up the sample assessment. Which is now in work mode. And it says I have 2 responses. I'm going to dismiss that. Well, I'm going to open it up. I want to see what those responses are. So I'm going to view responses. So it says new spreadsheet, perfect, and I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. So as you can see, you see my answers and you also see Savvy's answers. Now from here, I'm going to go to add-ons and get add-ons. And the very first thing that pops up is Flubaroo. And it gives you a little tutorial on Flubaroo. I'm going to skip that. I just want to, I keep hitting the wrong thing here. I want to just add it for free. And I'm going to accept everything about it. It's working, and now we have Flubaroo. So I'm going to go back to my add-ons. I have Flubaroo as an add-on, so now I'm going to ask it to grade the assignment. And again, you must have at least 2 responses in order for Flubaroo to be able to grade what's there. So we're at step 1, and step 1 is giving me the questions. So it's already prompted to say that the name identifies the student, so we're going to just keep that the same. I can assign a point value to each of the questions, so it could be from 1 point to 5 points, and then I can skip it for grading, or it identifies a student. So I'll just keep them all at 1 point. We're going to continue on to the next screen. Step 2, and here I'm going to select the answer key. Who has the right answer? That would be me. So I'm going to continue. Now it's grading it. Grading is completed. Gives you a few little tidbits of information there. And it lets me know that Savvy got a 0% on the assessment. Poor Savvy. He didn't get any points on any of his assignments. But his assignment is now graded. And because this is in an Excel spreadsheet, then the information, once we have, a multiple amount of people in the system, we can organize it by their names, we can organize it by their scores, so this can be really helpful and useful in seeing how the students are performing. So the only thing that we have to remember is to make sure that the students are given the tiny URL and that the teacher has access to a Gmail account, and there you have it. Grades are done. Thank you for watching my video.